Alright then, 80% win rate strategy. I'm just going to get into it and show you some of the trades that I've taken over the past few months, because I know a lot of people are asking for examples, so I'm going to show you basically what my strategy is very quickly, and then I'm going to show you on the charts the kinds of trades that I've been taking. So let's get into it. Really simple stuff. I'm just going to go back on the 5 minute here and show you some trades I've taken recently, but this is my strategy. Say for example this is your price action, I'll go and mark out these major swing lows. Really simple, takes like 5 seconds, and then I'll just wait for price to come and hit them like this, and then I'm looking for momentum reactions and inversions. So very simply, if we get a nice V shape like this with a good inversion to the upside on the 3 or the 5 minute with a major sweep, I'll be looking to enter like this. Stop loss is a manual stop halfway between the gap and the low, so if we come down and close below this like this, I'll count that as a loss and close the position, and then I'll just be looking to target a 1-for-1. So this is your 1-for-1 like this. Once we hit 1-for-1, I'll close half my position and go break even on the rest, and then just hold runners for liquidity. And it's that simple. It's really easy to do. This takes like 5 seconds to do on your charts every morning, and I'm just going to show you some trades. So we've already got one here. I thought this one was a really obvious trade that I took back in December. You can see here, really we've just got ourselves a very obvious area of liquidity. Loads of lows there that get swept. We get a really bullish reaction. You can see here we have actually got 2 5 minutes stacked on top of each other, but I was confident in this trade going up, so I took this on the first 5 minute inverse. You can see all my conditions here. We've consolidated, we come down, we sweep all this liquidity, we get a really bullish reaction. We've got ourselves some pretty obvious liquidity above. There's this trend line up here, as you can see, which I think is pretty obvious, with loads of stop losses above. We obviously close bullish, close over this, we hit the 1-for-1 straight away. I risk about $200 per trade, so take $100 off here, go break even on the rest, and then I'm holding like 2 more micros for liquidity above. I think we got up to about 3-to-1 on this one, and then I took another micro off here, still holding 1 more micro. As you can see, getting up towards the top of this, I think I took the final micro off at this liquidity above, as you can see. Overall, this was an absolutely fantastic trade for me. I remember this one like it was yesterday. Really simple, as easy as you like. It took about, what is this, 3 or 4 hours to play out, but overall an absolutely fantastic trade. Made about $500 or $600 per account on this one, and overall just really simple stuff. So I was definitely done for that day, and then we came into this day, which was a pretty interesting one. As you can see, well, obviously this was Tuesday going into Wednesday. You can see here we open up for New York, get a massive plunge to the downside. No gaps here, nothing down here. This was an interesting trade. I think I actually took this on like the 3 minute. I can't go back and show you right now, but I'm pretty sure that there was a 3 minute gap here that I took that was something like this. And basically this was a 1-for-1 break even trade, because I entered here like this and got a 1-for-1 break even. Obviously this didn't close on the 5 minute, but it did close on the 3 minute, and I thought after so long consolidating, this kind of looked pretty light bulb to me in terms of like accumulation, manipulation, and then distribution, but we never got there, as you can see, and started to chop more. So in the end this was just a scale 1 and break even trade. Continuing up here, as you can see, very weird price action in December, as you expect. Obviously this is just absolute nonsense, to be fair. Really obvious liquidity trend line here that you'd expect to get ran below, but never did. As you can see, pretty obvious here that there's no trades. You can see basically we're in a situation where we've just pumped off open, never came down and swept anything, so no trades for me there. You can see still no trades, no sweeps here. Obviously going into Friday here. Over Christmas, obviously price action is pretty crap in general. So we open up on the Sunday, just continuing to grind up here. Very low momentum. There was actually a 5 minute here that worked. I was only trading half size because it was Christmas, but you can see this was such an obvious trade. We came down, we tap into this gap here, get a really bullish reaction, and we do have this 5 minute gap. As you can see, once we closed above this, you can see this pretty much worked for a 1-for-1 eventually. Although, because we were trading, I was trading half size, I basically just cut this trade at about a 1-for-1 for like $100, $150 profit and called it a day. Because like I said, price action over Christmas is pretty crap. But you can see that's another example of the system working really well. Really weird price action here. We came down, never got any gaps that we could take and then got a huge pump, another huge dump, and then we came back up. I know a lot of people on trading Twitter took this long, which I thought was okay. You can see obviously we come down. I thought this trade is obviously very, very mid because we haven't really got a major sweep here. We have got an inversion on the 5-minute, and we technically were respecting the 15-minute bullish. But overall, just a mid trade, not something that I would take. I just like to see the liquidity sweep and then the pump. Nothing here again. Christmas Eve, really, really bad price action, as you can see. Horrible, horrible wiki price action, which you expect. And then over was this Boxing Day? Boxing Day here. No trades here again, obviously. Really, really bad price action in general. I think there was definitely a trade down here. I think this was another 3-minute. You can see we've got accumulation. And then, yeah, this was definitely a 3-minute. I remember taking this. There's a 3-minute down here. We accumulated for a long, long while. We come down. We've got a gap here that we inverse, and I took this one, which was basically a 2 or 3 to 1, depending on how far you wanted to take it. Another $300 or $400 profit booked on that one, which was pretty easy. The reason that I'm not switching back to that is because I don't want to keep switching time frames and having to scroll all the way back and confuse everyone. But obviously, as I said, the price action over Christmas is never going to be ideal. It's never going to be clean. You can see all the opens are very, 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 very crazy, to be honest. This was New Year's Eve. Pretty bad price action here. New Year's Eve. That was New Year's Eve. Sorry, this is New Year's Eve. You can see pretty weird price action in general. Huge dump off of open. Coming all the way down here. There was a 5-minute here. That I took half size as well, because it wasn't as good, but it was still good enough. You can see major sweep. Obvious low. Pretty obvious liquidity above. Inverse here. Stop loss halfway between the low and the gap. We came up and hit the 1-for-1 after a while, and then I went break even and got break evened on the rest, as you can see. Simple stuff again. We open up for a new week, and then we started to get price action. Price action started price actioning, as we could see. So we're coming to the first proper open of the year. Obviously, January the 1st is a holiday. So we have a huge pump, dump. I know a lot of people that took this trade, but I did not take this trade. Why do you think I didn't take this trade? Because no liquidity sweep. You can see we came all the way down here. We did sweep all of this, but I would have wanted to wait for this low at this point. We never got this, and as you can see, we did inverse the first 5-minute here, but the second 5-minute held, and then we dumped again. And then, as you can see, later on is when the trade came. You can see here, once we came down to this area here and swept this low, that's when I was looking for the trade. Because you can see here, we swept this one. We never swept this one, sorry. And then once we swapped this one, I was thinking, okay, we're looking like we're going to come down. And once we took out these two lows here, I was thinking, right, this is where we're going to get the trade. And then we did. This was a really easy one as well. 5-minute. Really, really obvious. As you can see here, this didn't close on MNQ, but it did close on NQ, which is what I do my analysis on. This was a really great trade. You can see we came down, we dropped a million points at open, and then we got accumulation, manipulation along with a major sweep, and then distribution back up. This one was a 2 or a 3 to 1. Closed this early because obviously we were about to close for the session for about $400-ish profit per account. Another good trade. I think you're getting the idea here, but I'm just going to do a few more. You can see how easy it is to identify these trades. It doesn't have to be rocket science. You don't have to absolutely peel your skin off your face trying to figure out what to do. Just wait for major lows and then look for 5-minute inverses. 5 minutes are always the best because they give you the most data included in them. Overall, you want to see good momentum as well. 3 candle pattern V-shapes are the best. You can see there technically was a 5-minute here that was obvious, really obvious, but we never quite swept this low here, so I never would have counted it at this point as being a really, really good setup. But you can see this would have eventually worked if you'd have taken this. Obviously, the momentum is really bad. If you take trades like this, you are going to have a much lower win rate because obviously you want to see those instantaneous V-shapes. You can see nothing here, nothing here, nothing here, nothing here really. Just a big dump, consolidation, and then a news candle by the looks of it. Nothing here again. Basically just came down at open, consolidated, and never did anything else. No 5 minutes here again. I'm pretty sure there was a 3 minute in this on this open though, which worked. You can see this one was a bullish one all day. This one here was another mid setup with no sweep. This one would have worked for a 1-for-1. Huge pump off of open on this day. I remember this day really well. We actually came down here and got like a 30-second long, which I think I ended up taking because I didn't take a trade for a while, and I was thinking maybe I should try and look for something. Pretty obvious. You can see we came up, swept up again. There was actually a pretty interesting 5 minute around this time that I can't quite remember. I think it was here. I think I took this 5 minute with half size because I thought it was pretty obvious. You can see this one took a while to play out, but it did go again for like a 2. I think I've made about $300 on that one. There was a 3 minute here that I definitely remember taking. This was a really weird day. Basically, we pumped up, missed the high, came down, pumped up, missed the high, came down, but then we swept the low. And then we got this really bullish reaction, which really sold me. There was a 3 minute and a 5 minute gap here. The 3 minute was a bit bigger like this, but I took this. And then obviously this went for a 3-to-1. You're starting to see the pattern, right? Pretty much all the trades that I'm taking are winners. And the reason is because I'm very patient. I'm very selective with the trades that I take. And this leads to me having a really good win rate. So we go to the next day. I know for a fact that there was a 3 minute I took here. I remember this one really well. I'm just not going to skip back to it because I don't want to confuse you by skipping through the charts. But this was another 3 minute like this that worked for a 1-to-1. The rest got break even. I think you're starting to see the pattern. This one here was a interesting one. I think this was one of the only losses that I took recently. We came down, we swept all this liquidity down to here. And then we got this really bullish reaction, and I was thinking, I think I almost took, I don't think I actually took this. No, this one, this was the one that I didn't take. Because if you look here, the reason I didn't take this was because we ended up so far away from the gap that my risk to reward was just too bad at this point, so I didn't take it. And then we actually came down and dumped again, as you can see, which was pretty fortunate. But then obviously you can see here, just bearish trend day, continuing down, making lower lows. We consolidate, and then I took this trade here, which was this 5 minute. In hindsight, an extremely obvious trade, accumulation, manipulation, and I think this manipulation also took out a swing low, if I'm correct. Maybe it wasn't this one. But you can see here this was quite obvious in hindsight. Obviously once you close above that gap with the sweep, you expect to at least go to the highs. We got up to about a 2-to-1 or something. And then we got news, I think, which break even the rest. But again, another trade that would have won. As you can see here, there are pretty much every single time you get a liquidity sweep and a 5 minute inverse, you do pretty well. Another one here, as if you needed more examples. Obvious sweep here, obvious sweep here. This is a really obvious low. And then look at this reaction. 4-candle V-shaped pattern is what you want to see. Really good momentum, clear momentum to the upside. Then as you can see here, this one went up for about a 2-to-1. Really easy stuff. Lovely, lovely trade again. Tons and tons of good trades, guys. Trading does not have to be difficult. If you learned something from this video, please do like, subscribe, leave a comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Check back for daily videos. And if you do want to get alerts or signals for all the trades that I take, I have a very high win rate. Then please do get down in the description below and sign up for the WOP. You'll get into the private Discord. Oh look, I've just seen another one. I've just seen another one. As I was just wrapping up. Accumulation, manipulation, 5 minute inverse, distribution back up. Perfect. Lovely. And I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.